Dear students, I am Chetan Pawar, Assistant Professor and Head Department of Botany, working at Gokhale Education Society's Arts, Commerce and Science College, Jawar District, Palghar. Students, from today onwards, we are going to study our first unit, that is Paleobotany. In our previous presentations or lectures, we have already completed our unit third, that is Anatomy. This Paleobotany unit, it is included in Mumbai University's TYBSc Botany paper second syllabus. So let's start with the syllabus of the Paleobotany. In this unit we are going to study the three fossils, and the last topic it is based on the contributions and the institute related to the Paleobotany. So in first topic we'll study the fossil, that is a Lepidodendron. From this fossil, we'll study the all form genera such as the root, stem, bark, leaf, male and female fructifications. Then from the second fossil, we will study the all form genera including root, stem, leaf, male and female fructifications. Similarly, from the third fossil, that is the Pentazoilon, we will study the all form genera. Then after these three fossils, we'll have the study of contributions of the Birbal Sahni in the field of paleobotany, and after that the last topic will be from the Birbal Sahni Institute of Paleobotany, which is located in the Lucknow. So let's start with introduction to paleobotany. The paleobotany word can be spelled in both ways. This paleobotany, it is the study of fossil plants. Where the paleobotany, it is a in paleobotany, the paleo, it is a word which is derived from the Greek literature, and it means the ancient or the old. In simple words, we can see the paleobotany, it is the study of ancient or the old plants which are not living today and they are in the fossilized form. So study of these fossil plants, it is called as the paleobotany. This paleobotany, it is a branch of paleontology, and in paleontology there is the scientific study of the life of geological past is performed. Then the question is, what is meant by fossils? These fossils, these are actually the remnants of living organisms which are of geological past that has been preserved in Earth's crust. This fossil word, it is derived from the Latin word fodere, which means to dig. That means anything which is obtained by digging from the earth crust and which is of living nature, then it is called as the fossil. That means it contains the remnants of plants, animals, microorganisms, anything, but it should be of living, or it is from the living organisms, and if it is obtained by the digging, then it is called as the fossils. These fossils, they are the primary source of information about the history of life on the earth. That means if you want to study the history of life, then the information about the fossils, it is very important, and they give the primary source of information for this for the study of the history of life. The process of fossilization means the formation of fossil. It depends upon the environmental conditions and also the nature of tissue. The harder plant part would get fossilized better than the softer parts of the plant. In paleobotany, there is a term which is called as a form genera. This is very important term and it is very commonly used in the paleobotany, and it is a non-phylogenetic artificial taxon of the convenience, which is prepared for the convenience of the students or the convenience of the all academic all academicians. In paleobotany, the larger plant part would not get fossilized entire. Hence, the bits of the plant parts are placed in the form genus on the basis of the similarity in the morphology. In fossils, every plant part is kept in different genus. For example, we can take from Lepidodendron plant, we can have the three form genera, such as Lepidodendron itself. It represents the type bark, while the Stigmaria, this form genus represents the type root, and Lepidophyllum, this form genus represents the type leaf of the Lepidodendron. After this, we'll have a short introduction to the types of fossils. There are various types of fossils, but for our understanding purpose, I have taken some important fossils of the paleobotany. The first fossil is the compression. This is the most common type of fossil which is formed due to the pressure exerted on the plant material, and due to the pressure the plant material, it is preserved in the form of thin carbonaceous film. This is called as a compression. Then the second one is the impression. Impression is the negative of compression, where the negative imprint of part of the plant is preserved, and no organic matter in impression is preserved. Only the imprint of the plant part is there, which is called as the impression, which is a negative of compression. No organic matter is preserved. Then after that, the third type of fossil is the petrifaction. This is the best type of fossil, but it is of rarest type. The external form, internal structure, and the organic substance, all these things are preserved in the petrifaction type of the fossil. It is very ideal for the study of fossil plants, but it is of rarest type. Then after that, the fourth type is the coal balls. These are also the petrifactions, but they are of spherical specimens. Then molds, it includes the three-dimensional hard sedimentary material of the plant. Then the incrustation and the cast, these are the external molds of the plant which are usually in the incompressible materials. Then in paleobotanical study, there is another one important part is there, which is called as a geological time scale. This geological time scale, it is used by the geologist and the other scientists to study the timing and relationships between the events that have occurred during the history of the earth. That means if you want to study the paleobotany, then it is very essential to understand the geological time scale, and you have to study in relation with the geological time scale. This geological time scale, it consists of the columns and the rows. The columns, they represent the era, periods, then the age in million years and the type of vegetation, while the rows, they represent the various eras, periods, age in millions of the geological time scale. For example, the main eras of the geological time scale, they consist of Archeozoic, Proterozoic, Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and Cenozoic. The bottom of the geological time scale, it represents the ancient or the old time of the geological time scale, while the upper rows, they represent the recent time. The total history of the earth, it is about 4.5 billion years, out of which the more than 2000 years, they represent the evidence or the existence of the life, but the no fossils are available for this Archeozoic era of the geological time scale. and after that the fossils are available from the Proterozoic era of the geological time scale. That's why the geological time scale, it represents or it shows the various events that have occurred in the history of the earth. Okay, thank you.